Nah. Well, sadly, I didn't do any steam bending that day. It was a gorgeous day being outside and using the wood burner to power the steamer, but it didn't really generate enough steam with enough force. I think the steaming box was too big and I couldn't get the fire hot enough to really get the kettle boiling fiercely. So I stopped that day and I went over to using the wallpaper steamer, and I did that in the main workshop. So that's where we're going to go over to now. So here is my steam bending setup. I've got the wallpaper steamer plugged in to this wooden steaming box. I've got a good amount of steam coming out at the moment. It's going to be in there for an hour. And I've got 2 bits of oak in there to bend today. Okay, the oak's been steaming for about an hour and a half now. The steamer's nearly run out of water, so it's a good time to do the bending. I'm going to try and do this really quick now. Nah, that really short grain here, there's no way I would have been able to bend that, so that's a failure. Doing this end to see how successful it is. So the trick for me is to be able to find straight wood, straight grained wood. That's a shame, I think I would have done it. Okay, that's it for today. I'll have to get some more wood prepared. Right, here's the steaming box in action. So I've got the wallpaper steamer running the steam to the box, and it's building up pressure and venting out of the hole on the side there. So I'm getting good pressure, so that's good. I've only just put the wood in, so I'm going to leave it in there for an hour I've put 4 pieces in. I only need 2, so hopefully that'll be enough, allowing for 2 failures. So the form is set up. So I was gonna, the theory is to jam the wood into there and then bend it around in one sweep, securing it as I go with cramps. So I've got all the cramps that I need lined up. So I think come back in an hour's time and let's give this a go. Okay, so the steaming box has been going for about an hour now, so I'm going to take the first piece out and give it a try. Just going to put some gloves on to protect my hands from the steam. So I'm going to have to do this process very quickly. I might have left it too long for doing this last bit. I think it's cooling down rapidly. Well, I've made the turn and these cramps aren't really the best, are they? I don't know, it took me a long time to get this last cramp on, so it might spring back a lot. But it didn't break, so there's that. The former was like moving around loads, so I think I might screw it down actually for the next one. I'm just going to let this cool down and transfer it. I'm going to transfer it to this jig just to hold it in place for a couple of days. Okay, so that was a success. Used beech because it steams really well. It's very straight grained, so it was quite easy to do that way. The steam is still going, but it's nearly run out of water, so I'll switch it off now. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. So the wood, it was about 50mm by 10mm, steamed for an hour. But I'll leave this for a couple of days and then get them out. This one's in its cooling jig, so I think the second one I did was better. I cramped it quicker. This one was a bit slower, so I imagine this one will spring back a little bit more. But they're going to be joined together, so they should hold themselves into that form quite nicely. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Let's see what it looks like in a couple of days. So the wood has been drying for the last 2 days, so I've kept it in the former for 2 days. So moment of truth, I'm gonna take it out and see how much springback there is in the wood. So there we have it. So the wood has sprung back about 3/4 of an inch either side, so that's not bad. I'm not worried about that because this is going to be in 2 halves and they're going to be joined together, so hopefully they'll keep themselves in a nice elliptical shape. I'll get the other one out as well, have a look at it. That's pretty identical. So they've sort of sprung back the same amount. I thought the first one I did would spring back more because it took me longer to cramp it up, so that's good to see. So the steam bending is done. So what I've got to do now is joint these together, a sort of splice joint here and here, and then that will form a nice unbroken ellipse. So here is the ellipse that I've made. 2 steam bent components joined together. You can just see there the joint, and so this will be stained black, and I think it will make a nice contrast with a natural wood interior form.